Third Thoughts by E.V. Lucas. This story was told to me by a friend. It is my destiny, said he, to buy in the dearest markets and to sell, if I succeed in selling it all, in the cheapest. Usually, indeed, having tired of a picture or decorative article, I have no positively to give it away, almost to make its acceptance by another a personal favor to me. But the other day was marked by an exception to this rule so striking that I have been wondering if perhaps the luck has not changed, and I am, after all, destined to be the most enviable thing, a successful dealer. Now, here, E.V. Lucas tells us that this is a story which has been told to him by his friend. It happens that his friend is a businessman, is a dealer, and he has always been an unsuccessful dealer because whatever things he bought from the market, he was not able to sell it and earn profit. But the other day, something very unusual happened that made him to think whether luck has started smiling on him. अब आज जो स्टोरी हम आज पढ़ेंगे उसका नाम है थर्ड थॉट्स, जिसे लिखा है ईवी लुकस ने। बड़ी मजेदार कहानी है। और ईवी लुकस कहते हैं ये कहानी मुझे मेरे दोस्त ने बताई थी। दरअसल मेरा दोस्त एक डीलर था जो बाजार से कोई भी चीजें सस्ते में खरीदता था और महंगे में बेच के पैसे कमाने की कोशिश करता था, लेकिन हमेशा वो इसमें नाकामयाब रहता था। जब भी कोई चीज खरीदता और उससे चार पैसे कमाने की कोशिश करता, इसमें नाकामयाब होता और कभी प्रॉफिट नहीं कमा पाता। लेकिन कुछ दिन पहले एक उसके साथ एक बड़ा ही अजीबोगरीब वाकया हुआ जिसने उसे मजबूर कर दिया ये बात सोचने पर, क्या सही में लक उसके ऊपर मुस्कुराने लगी है। अब वो वाकया बताता है क्या हुआ था जिससे वो मजबूर हो गया सोचने के लिए, क्या सही में वो एक सक्सेसफुल डीलर बन चुका है। It happened thus. In drifting about the old curiosity shops of a cathedral city, I came upon a portfolio of watercolor drawings, among which was one that to my eye would have been a possible turner, even if an early owner had not shared that opinion or hope and set the magic name with all its initials, so often placed in the wrong order beneath it. Here the writer friends Here, the writer's friend tells us that once he was visiting the old curiosity shops in the cathedral city. He came upon the portfolio of watercolor drawings, and suddenly his eyes set upon a portrait, and he thought it was drawn by the famous England painter Turner. But when he asked the shopkeeper, he informed him that it was not the original one, and if it had not been told to him, he would have thought that it was the painting of the Turner. अब राइटर का दोस्त राइटर को बताता है कि एक दिन मैं कैथीड्रल सिटी में जो जहां पर बहुत ही एंटिक पीसेस मिलते थे वहां गया सामान खरीदने के लिए, ताकि मैं उसे खरीद के मैं महंगे में बेच के कुछ मुनाफा कमा सकूं। अचानक उसकी आंखें एक पोर्ट्रेट पर पड़ी, एक पेंटिंग पर पड़ी, और उसे लगने लगा कि ये पेंटिंग जो है टर्नर की बनाई हुई है। टर्नर फेमस इंग्लैंड पेंटर है। उसे लगने लगा कि ये टर्नर की पेंटिंग है। लेकिन दुकानदार ने उसको बताया कि ये टर्नर की ओरिजिनल पेंटिंग नहीं है, ये उनके जैसी लग रही है लेकिन उनकी बनाई हुई पेंटिंग नहीं है। अगर किसी ने नीचे इनिशियल लिख दिया होता तो यकीनन सब समझते थे कि टर्नर की पेंटिंग है, जिस तरीके पेंटिंग में लिखे जाता है टर्नर। How much is this? I asked scornfully. Well, said the dealer, if it were a genuine Turner, it would be worth anything. But let's say 10 shillings. You can have it for that, but I don't mind if you don't, because I'm going to London next week and should take it with me to get an opinion. I pondered. Mind you, I don't guarantee it, he added. I gave him 10 shillings. The writer's friends asked him how much it cost. He replied that if it had been the original painting of Turner, it would cost quite expensively. But now that painting was not the original one of Turner. That is why he would ask only for 10 shillings. And he further added that if he didn't want to buy it, he would take it to London and would get the opinion. The writer thought and paid him 10 shillings and got the painting. अब राइटर ने उससे पूछता है स्कॉनफुली, हेटफुली पूछता है कि क्या कीमत है इसकी. वो शॉप ओनर कहता है कि अगर टर्नर की होती तो काफ़ी महंगी होती, लेकिन टर्नर की बनाई हुई पेंटिंग नहीं है, इसीलिए 10 शीलिंग्स में ही मैं तुम्हें दे दूंगा अगर तुम लेना चाहते हो तो. अगर नहीं भी लेना चाहते हो तो कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता, क्योंकि मैं बहुत जल्दी अभी लंदन जा रहा हूँ. तो लंदन में अभी मैं अगले हफ्ते ही लंदन जाने वाला हूँ, मैं वहाँ पर इसे बेच दूंगा. राइटर सोचने लगा और उसने 10 शिलिंग निकाला और उसे दे दिया और वो पेंटिंग खरीद लिया. But what incredible means I found a purchaser for the drawing at 50 pounds. There is no need to tell, for the point of this narrative resides not in bargaining with collectors, but in bargaining with my own soul. The astonishing fact remains that I achieved a profit of 59 pounds 10 and was duly elated. I then began to think. But an unusual incident happened with the writer's friend. He bought the painting in 10 shillings and he got the purchaser of that painting, and that purchaser paid him 50 pounds. It means he earned the profit of 49 pounds and 49 pounds and 10 shillings. The writer's friend got very happy. He started thinking. Thinking means there is a tussle between his soul. He started bargaining with his soul, not with the purchaser. अब बोलता है बड़ी मजेदार वाक्य उसका दोस्त बताता है कि बड़ा ही मजेदार वाक्य उसके दोस्त के साथ गुजरा. उसने उस पेंटिंग को 50 पाउंड्स में किसी को बेच दिया और पूरा 59 पाउंड्स 10 शिलिंग्स पे मुनाफा कमाया. अब मुनाफा कमाने के बाद कशमकश शुरू हो गई. वो ये सोचने लगा कि मैंने इतना मुनाफा कमाया हूं, अब इस मुनाफे का मैं करूं क्या. इस सोचने में वो मजबूर हो गया, क्योंकि पूरा उसको 59 पाउंड्स 10 शिलिंग का मुनाफा हुआ था. और इसमें राइटर के दोस्त की और उसके सोल के बीच में कशमकश शुरू हो गई. द डीलर. सो माई थॉट्स रैन इन दैट लिटिल street by the cathedral west door. He ought to participate in this. He behaved very well to me and I ought to behave well to him. It would be only fair to give him half. That is why the writer's friend thought that he bought the painting from the shop owner. That is why he should share half of the profit with him, because that owner behaved him quite well, because he told him at the beginning that it was not the original painting of Turner. So he decided that he was going to share half of the profit with that shop owner. अब राइटर सोचने लगा कि मैंने उस दुकानदार से जिसकी ये पेंटिंग खरीदी है, उसने मेरे साथ बहुत ही अच्छे तरीके से बिहेव किया. उसने मुझे सही तरीके से बता दिया कि ये पेंटिंग ओरिजिनल नहीं है, बल्कि ये टर्नर की बनाई हुई पेंटिंग नहीं है, लगती है उसके जैसी. तो सही से बताया. इसीलिए सोचता है राइटर उसने मेरे से अच्छे तरीके से बिहेव किया, तो मैं भी उसके साथ अच्छे तरीके बिहेव करूंगा और अपने मुनाफे में आधा मुनाफा उसके साथ शेयर करूंगा. Thereupon I sat down and wrote a letter note saying that the potential Turner drawing, which no doubt he recollected, had turned out to be authentic, and had great pleasure in enclosing him half of the proceeds, as I considered that the only just and decent course. Having no stamps at the hour being late, I did not post this and went to bed. The writer started writing a note to the shop owner, and he wrote in that note that the potential Turner painting proved to be authentic and he was able to earn the profit of £50 and he would like to share half of the profit with him. He wrote a note and wanted to post, but it got so late and he did not have stamp with him at that point of time. That is why he decided that he was going to post it the next day. So he went to bed. उसके बाद राइटर का दोस्त बताता है कि मैंने उस दुकानदार के लिए एक पत्र लिखा और पत्र में लिखा जो तुमने मुझे पेंटिंग दी थी वो टर्नर की थी तो नहीं, लेकिन ऐसी लगी कि सही में टर्नर की थी, इसीलिए उस पेंटिंग 50 पाउंड में बिक गई और जिससे मैंने 50 पाउंड मुनाफा कमाया। अब मैं वो मुनाफा आधा तुम्हारे साथ शेयर करना चाहता हूँ। इस तरीके से नोट लिख के रख दिया। अब पोस्ट भी करना चाहता था राइटर का फ्रेंड, लेकिन रात इतनी हो गई थी कि पोस्ट नहीं कर सकता था। दूसरी बात, उसका स्टैंप नहीं था, इसीलिए उसने रख दिया और सोने चला गया क्योंकि काफी रात हो चुकी थी। At about 3:30 a.m., I woke widely up and according to custom began to review my life's error, which are in no danger of ever suffering from loneliness. From this, I reached by way of mitigation my recent successful piece of chauffeuring and put the letter to the dealer under both examination and cross-examination. So my thoughts ran, gave him half. Why be quixotic? This is no world for quixtry. It was my eye that detected the probability of the drawing, not his. He had indeed failed, did not know his own business. Why put a premium on inaptitude? No, a present of say 10 pounds at the most would more than adequately meet the case. The writer went to bed after writing the note and keeping half of the profit which he wanted to share with the dealer, with the shop owner. But at 3:30 he woke up because he was unable to sleep. So he started reviewing whatever he had done. He thought that he should not be so generous. Don Quixote is the character created by Crevatus, and he is particularly known for his generosity. So the writer thinks why he should be so generous, because that owner, that shop owner who sold the painting to the writer's friend was not able to understand that the painting could fetch so much money. So why he should share half of the profit with him? It was his eye that was able to understand that the painting could fetch so much profit. So he should not share half of the profit with him. Instead, he was going to share only 10 pounds with him, because he was an inefficient businessman. He did not know the trick of the business. That is why he was not going to share half of the profit with him. He was going to shell out only 10 pounds. अब रात में राइटर का दोस्त वो पत्र लिखने के बाद और आधा प्रॉफिट उस पत्र में रखने के बाद सो जाता है, लेकिन रात में अचानक उठता है 3:30 बजे और सोचना शुरू करता है कि मैंने ये सही किया कि गलत किया। वो सोचता है कि मैंने जो बार्गेनिंग की ये तो मेरी ही अकलमंदी थी कि मैंने ये समझ पाया कि ये पेंटिंग इतना ज़्यादा मुनाफा कमा सकती है। वो तो दुकानदार को इतनी बात समझ में नहीं आई, वो इनएफिशिएंट बिजनेसमैन है, तो क्यों मैं उसे हाफ प्रॉफिट दूं, मैं उसे 10 पाउंड्स दे दूंगा। मैं इतना क्यों जेनरस बन रहा हूं। जेनरस के लिए यहाँ पर वर्ड ल्यूकस ने इस्तेमाल किया है क्विक स्टॉक। अब डॉन क्विक्स्टो ये कैरेक्टर जो क्रिएट किया है क्रिवेटस ने, क्रिवेटस का क्रिएट करा कैरेक्टर है डॉन क्विक्स्टो। तो सोचने लगा क्यों इतना मैं क्विकस्टिक हूं और क्यों इतना जेनरोसिटी दिखाऊं, इसलिए इस्तेमाल हुआ ये जेनरोसिटी दिखाने के लिए, जेनरस क्विकस्टिक क्विकस्ट्री कैरेक्टर है डॉन क्विक्स्टो। Sleep till refusing to oblige me. I took a book of short stories and read one. Then I closed my eyes and again began to think about the dealer. Why? So my thoughts ran, send him £10. It will only give him a wrong idea of his customers, none other of whom would be so fair, so sporting as I. He will expect similar letters every day and be disappointed, and then he will become embittered and go down the vale of tears, a miserable creature. He looked a nice old man too. A pity, nay, a crime to injure such a nature. £10 is absurd. 5 would be plenty. 10 would be. 10 would put him about himself. The writer tried very hard to go to bed, but still he was unable to sleep. So he woke up and started reading a book. Then again his thought was attracted towards the deal. He thought why he should give him £10. £10 was going to make that person an embittered character because he was going to expect the same kind of letter every day. After each and every deal, he was going to expect the same kind of profit with the purchaser. And that was not possible in each and every case because every purchaser would not be so extravagant or so generous as the writer's friend. So he thought instead of giving him £10, he was going to give him only £5 because he did not want to spoil the nature of that old man who was so good by nature. His temperament was so soft and he was really a very good person. So he did not want to spoil his temperament. That is why he decided that he was going to shell out only £5. Otherwise, he was going to expect the same kind of letter after each and every deal. And when he would not get the letter, so he would be a disappointing soul. राइटर का दोस्त सोचने लगा, वो सोने की कोशिश करता है लेकिन उसको नींद नहीं आती है। फिर वो स्टोरी की बुक पढ़ना शुरू करता है फिर से, लेकिन उसका दिमाग उसी डील की तरफ दौड़ता है। फिर वो सोचता है कि मैं क्यों £10 दूं, £10 देने के बाद मैं उस इंसान का स्वभाव को बिगाड़ना चाहता हूं, क्योंकि हर डील के बाद इसी तरीके से वो हर पत्र अपेक्षा करेगा कि हर पत्र में उसके साथ वो खरीदार अपना प्रॉफिट शेयर करे और इस तरीके से उसका अच्छा स्वभाव बिगड़ जाएगा। इसलिए सोचता है कि मैं इतना शेयर नहीं करूंगा, उसका नेचर में बिगाड़ना नहीं चाहता हूं, इसीलिए मैं £10 की जगह सिर्फ £5 ही दूंगा। While I was dressing the next morning, I thought about the dealer again. Why should? So my thoughts ran. Directly, I had for the first time in my life brought off a financial coup. Spoil it by giving a large part of the profit away. Was not that flying in the face of the goddess of business, whoever she may be? Was it not asking her to disregard me only a day or so after we had at last got on terms? There is no fury like a woman scorned. It would probably be the end of me. Then the writer's friend woke up the next morning, and while he was getting himself prepared to go out, so again his thought was attracted towards the deal. He thought that first time in his life he earned the profit, and why he was going to share £5 with the dealer. Recently, the goddess of business smiled on him, and recently they came on intimate terms with each other. So he did not want to disregard the goddess of business, and disregarding goddess of business was just like to bring the fury of a woman, and it would only bring disaster. If he was going to invite the fury of a woman, he was only going to bring his own disaster, which he did not want. So he thought some other trick in order to avert the fury of the goddess of business. अब अगले दिन जब राइटर का दोस्त तैयार हो रहा था बाहर जाने के लिए, अचानक उसके दिमाग में फिर से ख्याल आता है कि क्यों मैं इतना मुनाफा उस डीलर के साथ शेयर करूं। अभी अभी तो जो कारोबार की देवी मुझ पर मेहरबान हुई, और मैं क्यों से नाराज करूं। अगर उसको नाराज करना मतलब अपने आप पे तबाही लेके आने के जैसा था, तो सोचने लगा कुछ और चीज मैं करता हूं। सिटी मैग्नेट्स are successful probably just because they don't do these foolish impulsive things. Impulse is the negation of magnetism. If I am to make any kind of figure in this new role of fine art speculator, so my thought continued, I must control my feeling. Then he started deriving the example of all the milliners. Magnates means millionaires, rich businessmen. He started thinking about them, that they became so rich only because they did not take any kind of decision on the impulse. Impulse means to take decision suddenly without thinking about its result. So he thought that he was not going to take the result on impulsion. राइट अगर दोस्त सोचने लगा कि जैसे कि बड़े बड़े जितने भी बिजनेस टाइकून्स है, वो लोग इसीलिए अमीर बनते हैं क्योंकि वो इम्पल्स के आधार पे फैसला नहीं लेते। इम्पल्स का मतलब होता है टू डू समथिंग विदाउट थिंकिंग इट्स रिजल्ट, बगैर सोचे समझे कोई फैसला ले लेना। तो राइटर कुछ और सोचने लगा। I must control my feeling. No, £5 is absurd. A dossier of £1 will meet the case. It will be nothing to me, or at any rate, nothing serious, but a gift of quail and manna for from a clear sky to the dealer, without, however, doing him any harm. £1 will be ample, accompanied by a brief note. Dossier means a consolatory note. So he thought that instead of giving him £5, he was going to give him only a consolatory note along with £1. That will be more than enough. It is just like quill and manna. The reference has been taken from Bible. In Bible, God sent food for the people, for the followers of Moses, quill and manna, without doing anything. Just like the dealer, the dealer did not do anything, but still he was going to get a share of £1. So that would be quite enough for him. राइटर का दोस्त सोचने लगा कि इसीलिए मैं उसके अपने उस डीलर को एक नोट लिखूंगा और नोट के साथ उसे £1 दे दूंगा, जो उसके लिए काफी होता है। क्वेल और मन्ना ये बिब्लिकल रेफरेंस है जो बाइबल से लिया गया है। मोसेस के लिए खाना गॉड बेचता था, क्वेल और मन्ना, जो बगैर कुछ करे उन्हें खाना खिलाता था खुदा। The note was to the effect that I had sold the drawing at a profit, which enabled me to make him a present, because it was an old and perhaps odd belief of mine that one should do this kind of thing. Good luck should be shared. He wrote a consolatory note. In that note, he had written to the dealer that he was able to earn the profit, and he wanted to share some amount of that profit with him, because he was of the belief that good luck should be shared. अब राइटर का दोस्त एक नोट लिखता है उस डीलर के लिए, कहता है कि मैंने जो पेंटिंग तुमसे खरीदी थी, उस पेंटिंग से मैंने काफी मुनाफा कमाया, और मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि मुनाफे का कुछ अंश तुम्हारे साथ भी शेयर करना चाहिए, क्योंकि अच्छी चीजें शेयर करने से बढ़ती है, इसीलिए मैं तुम्हारे साथ कुछ चीज शेयर करना चाहता हूँ। सोच लिया था कि मुझे £1 उसे दूंगा और एक नोट लिखूंगा। I had the envelope in my pocket containing the note and the check when I reached the club for lunch, and the afternoon I played bridge so disastrously that I was glad I had not posted it. In the afternoon, the writer's friend went into the club in order to have his lunch, and he played bridge card game, and he lost his money in that game. राइटर का दोस्त कहता है कि मेरी जेब में ही पैसा, वो एनवलप और वो चेक था, और दोपहर का खाना खाने के लिए मैं जब क्लब में गया तो क्लब में मैंने ब्रिज खेल लिया, कार्ड गेम खेल लिया, और उसमें मैं पैसे हार गया. After all, so my thoughts ran as I destroyed the envelope and contents. Such bargains are all part of the game. Buying and selling are a perfectly straightforward matter between dealer and customer. The dealer asks as much as he thinks he can extort, and the customer, having paid it, is under no obligation whatever to the dealer. The incident is closed. When the writer's friend lost his money at the club in bridge game, so he tore that envelope was in his pocket. He put out the envelope and tore it and took the money and used it in the bridge game, and wrote and thought that buying and selling are a perfect straightforward way. The dealer extracted whatever he could with the purchaser, and the purchaser made the deal whatever he thought was fair, and the incident is closed. At last, the writer's friend did not share a single penny with the dealer. He thought about sharing half of the profit. That was the tussle that took place between the writer's friend and his soul. अब राइटर का दोस्त कहता है कि मैंने क्लब हाउस में जब मैं कार्ड गेम में पैसा हार गया तो मेरी जेब में वो एनवेलप था, मैंने वो एनवेलप निकाला और उससे वो पैसे क्लब में इस्तेमाल कर लिए. और इस बात पे सोचने लगा कि खरीदना बेचना ये तो एक स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड मैटर है जो होता है डीलर और कस्टमर के बीच में. डीलर जितना पैसा चाहे वो कस्टमर से निकाल सकता है, और कस्टमर जो उसे मुनासिब लगता है वो उस पैसे में, उस दाम में वो चीज़ खरीदता है. ये साधारण सी बात है, तो इसमें कोई लेन देन की बात नहीं है, कोई प्रॉफिट शेयर करने की बात नहीं है. इस तरीके से मामला खत्म हो जाता है. ये मजेदार कहानी थी. जिस तरीके से राइटर कहता है कि उसके दोस्त के सोल और बीच में टसल चल रही थी कि वो प्रॉफिट शेयर करेंगे, आखिरकार वो कुछ भी शेयर नहीं करता. थैंक यू सो मच.